right, folks, we are here. Chris Mason, myself, Chris Griffin, and then also Jason. You already know Sooners 360, Horns Down podcast, Hall of Fame college football podcast as well. The trio is here to give you an instant rapid reaction. I know I just said two words that basically mean the same thing. I don't know why I'm talking like this. My mind is screwed right now. I am feeling a lot of places. I'll start this off. First off, people, we need to jump into the portal for a quarterback. What we saw tonight was basically the same old Jackson Normal that we saw the first 4 games of the season, right? Or 3.5, however you want to go about it. Turnovers, costly turnovers. You saw play calling that was very, 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 very to the max. It was extremely it's just shit. Let's just call it that. Why are you running jet sweeps with Barrett Sharp? Why are you running tight end delays, tight end screens for Barrett Sharp? No, you have to go north and south. I asked this question, and I will ask this question again. I will ask it to the panel, and I ask it to the chat. Why? Or excuse me, what is the point of bringing Farouk and Burks back if you're not going to throw the ball down the field? If you're just
or even try to, or maybe the jet sweeps and the little tunnel screens and shit should go to the fast guys instead of Bauer Sharp.
You now I know some people are going to say offensive line is shit, this and that and everything else, but I'll say this right here. Your offensive line played well enough for you to win that game tonight. They gave Jackson time. Jackson wanted to leave the pocket too early. Jackson wanted to do Jackson Arnold-like things, right? I don't think this was something that was on the defense. Not necessarily happy with putting Eli Bowen on Theo Weiss in there because you know that was kind of going to be a jump ball. Drew Pine sucks. I'm sorry. Good enough to beat us, I guess, but he sucks. So the fact of the matter is that you lost that game offensively. You should have ran the ball. Obviously, you saw Xavier Robinson was probably your best back tonight. Tatum was able to get loose from time to time. Jackson just made some terrible plays that cost us. And I'm not necessarily just simply talking about the turnovers. I'm also talking about the fact that you have a touchdown. You have a touchdown on what, that first or second drive. Burke's running wide the hell open, right? All you have to do is just lead him on that crosser, and he's there. So I mean, the thing to me is that last week or last time we were all together, I think you two guys were talking about just what in the craziest multiverse would need to happen for Joe John to possibly stay on. And I still say to this point, what the hell were we even talking about with that? Because that should have never even been a conversation, because Joe John has shown you that, look, I'm just going to be honest with you. That offense is cute. That offense is good for a multitude of games. But in this league, as you've seen, Tennessee struggle with a lot of teams and struggle to really pull away from like top teams or whatever running that. As you've seen what's going over there with Levy right now. Lane Kiffin, he's running a kind of a variation of it, but it's really kind of went back to a Lane Kiffin type offense. So I say this right here, this whole thing with Joe John or whatever, he simplified the game for guys like Jackson. But as we all know, I don't think that offense is going to be successful going forward. You got to go out there and get you a real OC. But those are kind of my raw thoughts right now. We'll go down the line, Jason, and then we'll go to Chris Mason and get everybody's thoughts. So, Jason.
You're on mute, dude.
You're on mute.
Yeah, no, I couldn't find the damn screen. I was looking for a million things. Yeah. I don't know. I think that I don't really have any arguments about what you just said. The offense is absolutely fucking dog shit. There's just no two other ways to say it. It's dog shit right now. You have to, man, middle of the third quarter, Jackson had 50 fucking passing yards. 50 yards. The defense did well enough to win this damn game, as we've been saying. And we continue to just go out there and have these kindergarten play. Oh, play calling. It's just silly shit. I don't understand it. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing to watch this shit show on the offensive side of the ball. They cannot get a freaking new OC soon enough. They can't. And I don't know what else to say really right now. Fuck. Go ahead, Chris. I need to collect a bit still.
Well, I'm continually amazed at. I mean, first off, I'm about fucking done with this football team this year for OU football. I mean, this was a double reverse savant kick to the nuts for Sooner fans. I mean, really, come on. I mean, we found new and interesting ways to lose the football game tonight. I mean, really. I mean, you say what you want, but this was a brand new way of losing the game, right? I mean, completely. I don't know how you get a tying touchdown, then get a big defensive play for a touchdown, and then you don't have enough awareness to, at a minimum, just kick it back to, you get a touchdown. It's tied. You could easily go to overtime. I don't know how you don't have the awareness. I'm just stunned at the touchdown, fumble, touchdown, fumble, touchdown on the ESPN play-by-play. It doesn't look really possible. Like, that can't really have happened, did it? Did that really just happen? And it did. I mean, there were three things I was looking for from this football team moving forward. Like, one, is Jackson Arnold salvageable, or do we need a brand new quarterback? Well, we just took 4 steps backwards there. Okay. Is the O-line getting any better? It did okay tonight. It wasn't a complete disaster. I mean, UGA can't block Ole Miss's defensive ends either, by the way. And, with the skill groups, were they getting any better? Again, the fumbles, and I don't know what we're doing. I mean, Sawchuck obviously couldn't play tonight, so you were down to Tatum. And, I mean, it's just like the crushing injury hits us at the wrong moment every time this season, right? I mean, we don't have Barnes tonight when we really needed him, right? Didn't have Barnes tonight. It's just, it's like we lose Sexton against Ole Miss. It's just a crushing level of incompetence and bad luck. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how the offense scores a touchdown, then the defense scores a touchdown, and then you give up an 8-play drive in 57 seconds to Drew Pine. I mean, the defense played great, right? But then when you need the defense to play great, it gives up an okey-doke touchdown to Drew Pine. Right? Who sucks? You couldn't get an interception off him. You couldn't get a pick off him all game, whereas he was just donating them to Bama. It's depressing because we're going 5-7. We're not going bowling. We desperately need to go to bowling. I don't know what this does to recruiting at the end of this year.
I don't think they're going to play.
Well, yeah. Trap House booming. I got you.
Sure, that's exactly right. Why is this guy getting every fucking fast guy play? The jet sweep, the tunnels, all this shit. Why is Bauer getting balls out of the backfield? It just doesn't make sense.
I mean,
you know what? The whole quarterback thing, I've been saying since before. To me, it was always Hawkins. I'm sorry, it always has been.
Well, he can't throw. He has no throwing game right now. I mean,
we got a hell of a throwing game now, there, Chris Mason.
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you, it's worse, right?
No, it isn't. He can at least get. Dude, we've seen him throw a freaking bomb down the field.
Yeah, but
if you're not calling good plays, though, it doesn't even. What does it matter if you're running something that makes a damn lick of sense?
Again.
But I mean, we were talking about it on Trap Show earlier. Shit, you might as well have been just put Jackson in at running back. He's running the ball good. He ain't throwing it worth the shit.
Well, all I'm telling you is that your offense is mired in you. Jason, I absolutely know. I'm exasperated with this team, just like you are. Exasperated with watching us get to 1st and 10. Watching us get to 1st and goal and being 15 yards back when we're kicking a field goal, right? You know, we kicked 3 field goals. One of those field goals obviously was a freaking miracle by Zach Schmidt hitting a 56-yarder. You'd think when we were kicking that, we'd be on our way, but it's again. So hearing lots of comments that it's Joe Craddock because we need a quarterback. Yeah, okay, well, I don't disagree with that.
I want to jump in here and just say this. Look, guys, I don't think it's all the way on the coaching. You can say somebody should be responsible for this and all the rest of that. We can get into that. That seems to be the thing with everybody. But what I would simply say is this right here is that, guys, a lot of people do have to take accountability. Okay. Your offense, again, like I said, if you watch the game, if you think about what this season has been, we saw more of what basically what was going on with Latrell than we had seen in the past, 2 or 3 games, right? I think one of the biggest issues for me is that you continue to put your defense in some really, 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 really tough positions. You got to play complementary football.
Yeah, but even with that, the one time the defense is given a lead, and a whole field to stop a very average quarterback, they choke.
Yeah. Is Drew Pine even average?
I mean, to me, it was just it was a decent ball. I mean, it was. Well, I'd be honest with you. Hey, look, they threw the go ball. I saw it the whole time. I said, to me, I think they're going to try to attack him because of the height. He barely got his foot in. He got his foot in. It is what it is. But guys, listen. I'm here to tell you, defense didn't lose you that game. You had a chance to go down there with a minute to at least kick a field goal to do whatever you needed to do. It was tied. At the end of the day,
they let them walk right down the fucking field like they were taking candy from a baby.
Say this at the end of the day, I continue to say this, and I've said this early on, and I've said it often as well. Once you snap the fucking football, there has to be some accountability there as well. Jackson Darnold's just not the guy. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Yeah,
he hasn't shown me anything this year. We could do a hard reset. Jason, hold on. We could do a hard reset, whatever you want to do. Jackson Arnold's not the guy. I'm not sure if Hawkins is the guy. I'm not necessarily sure. I tried to give every excuse that I possibly can for those guys with Latrell, all the rest of that. We know what issues were there. We talked about that on screen and off screen especially. But, I mean, at this point right here, I mean, it's just inexcusable. Some of these turnovers or whatnot, that last turnover that he had that led to that fumble, the fumble 6, if you want to call it that, I just don't understand that. That's a normal football play.
Just dive on the ground and hold the ball.
It's a normal It's a normal football play.
For crying out loud. Get us to overtime for crying out loud.
Yeah, to me, it's a normal football play. You have all the chances in the world to go do what you need to do. You got tackled on a normal football play and lost the ball. I don't know what else to tell you.
I have a lot of OU friends that are saying that this is the turnovers again, lost the turnover battle other than getting the one turnover for a touchdown, but lost the turnover battle again. Couldn't force any turnovers tonight other than the big turnover, which is, of course, it's like this game is just like it's like bipolar, right? It's just when you look at it, it's just what OU did and was able to accomplish. It's just a mess. I, you know, I don't know if Brent's got it. You needed to have been a highly functional. This game was completely winnable on the road with a backup quarterback, and your team crapped the pant. Your quarterback crapped the bed, and your offensive coordinator crapped the bed. And I don't know how. We've got 2 more games. I mean, Bama smacked the crap out of LSU tonight.
Jason, I want you to go. I want to ask you a question directly. So there's people in the chat say that I'm blind or I don't know what I'm talking about or whatever the case may be. But to me, it seems like a lot of people in the chat are contradicting themselves because they say, oh, well, the defense ain't elite. Well, the defense choked this game off. But everybody in here is saying, oh, but the offense is dead weight. The offense
without the defense, you're not in the game. So
what I'm trying to say. I'm like, what are we talking about?
But what they're talking about is what they. I mean, you got an 8-point lead with 2 minutes left, and you lose by a touchdown. You can't let them march down the damn field like they did. Like that. I mean, come on, man. And you got Theo Weiss beating you twice. Theo, when the hell did he ever catch 2 touchdowns in the game for us?
Now that one right there was mostly on Allie and them not getting the play call in right then and there. The players are jumping around saying, "What's the call?" But I would say that on the other one, that like I said, that was look. His
they had to make a stand there though. This is why you got Brent Venables, is because you got to make that damn stop right there. This is why you went and got him, to build a defense that makes a stop at the final 2 minutes.
What led to a lot of that, because it wasn't like they were just moving the ball. Hell, fumbled, and that was when Burks fumbled. I was like, oh,
they were freaking hitting they hit Theo across the middle for a long game. They were hitting a bunch of stuff on the sideline. They weren't making tackles.
What bunch of stuff did they hit on the sideline? They hit that one pass to.
We need to go back and look at the whole damn thing. We can go back and look at it. I'm telling you, they hit. Let's look at the last. I'll go back and look at the last. Drive.
I'll die on the hill. I'll go and say it again. Defensively, you didn't lose the game. It was offensively. All the turnovers and everything else. You acting like it was just one turnover and one.
Well, the last turnover was the stupidest thing. But I mean, but the point is you could have won that game before that.
The game was tied going with 1 minute. You could have worse went to overtime, and then you turned the ball over again. How many turnovers did we have this game? Just tell me that.
I agree with that part.
How many turnovers did we have this game?
We had what, 3 or 4
had more
turnovers?
than 2. We had more than 2 turnovers this game.
No. Well, no interceptions. Okay, to highlight the positive.
If you want to call that a positive.
We lost 4 fumbles today. Jackson Arnold lost 2. Deion Burks lost 1 that led to a touchdown. And Peyton Bowen lost 1.
3rd and 16, we give up on that. on the fateful drive we're talking about, 3rd and 16 at the Oklahoma 43, you give up a 33-yard pass to Luther Burden.
I'm just saying.
And look, people, I'll give you that. I'll give everybody that. That is on the coaching. Why? Because 1, Woody shouldn't be in the fucking game in the first place. Second off,
there you go. There, why is he in the game still? I mean, we've been talking about that for a while.
He's flat-footed over there. And I'm like, hey, at the very least, run. You see him running, just run. They're not running to the sticks. They're not running to get 10 yards. They're running to try to bust that play open. God forbid Jacoby Johnson stays upright. Maybe that helps us with that play, opposed to him slipping out there on the field. But like I said, man, I mean,
look, a minute and 53 left. Just on first down, you get a 28-yard completion to Theo. Then they go back-to-back incompletes. Then you go incomplete again, 2nd and 16. They get a timeout. It goes to 1st and 10 again because the sack. What the hell happened there? On that 2nd and 16. Oh, no. Okay. You got the sack there, and then that's when you hit Luther Burden for 33 yards. So, I mean, it's these big plays that they've been giving them up all year, though. That's the point.
And I understand that, Jason, but let me ask you this. In the first half, how many points did you score?
6.
Oh, I know.
How many points did you leave out?
You get 9 points.
Nobody's looking at that. If any of y'all have ever played any damn sports in your fucking life, it's not about the points that you scored. It's about the points that you left out there.
No shit.
Congratulations.
No shit.
20 points.
That's been the story of the whole season, for God's sakes.
You had 9 points, I think, going into the at halftime. You had 9 points. And to be honest with you, you should have had more. How the hell are you at first and goal? You get that crazy, incredible fake punt, and then after that, you find yourself minus 20, basically the second and 20. Like it just doesn't make any sense what this offense is doing. For every step that we took forward, we took 10 steps back right after.
By all means, I'm not sitting here I'm not taking up for the offense. I'm telling you, the defense has got to come away with the stop there when you take the lead like that. But particularly with momentum, you can't go and figure that out. Come on, man.
No, look, Jason. Look, two truths can exist at the same time, but I'll say this right here. When are we going to realize that we can't expect this defense to go out there and be elite, being on the field every fucking down and not being able to play complimentary football and finish off drives with touchdowns? We left a bunch of touchdowns early in that game that will have put them away, that would have exposed everything that they were trying to do.
We had 2 red zone drives that should have ended with touchdowns in the first half. Right?
And people, it was a wacky game. It was a really, 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 really wacky game.
Well, I mean, the end of the game was like the freaking Boise game, right?
Yeah.
You think you have a defensive touchdown to win it, and then you turn around and then you give up a touchdown out of nowhere. I mean, I just can't understand how Jackson doesn't have better ball protection to just get us to effing overtime.
That's all, Jason. That's all I'm saying.
Why are you not running the ball?
I'm not disagreeing with you about the offense. We started off on their asses. That's what we came in here talking about, was the fucking offense.
Yeah, at the very worst, people, you had a chance just to take this to overtime.
Give it to X-Rob 3 times, right? You'll be. I mean, it's mind numbing that you gave up. That in the space of the last 3 minutes, there are 2 fumble returns for touchdowns. And you give up a 75-yard drive. How in the world, you finally tied the game on a pretty good drive. You finally tied it. And then
I'm not saying that. I'm not, yeah. But
then you get a fumble return for a touchdown to give you a lead. And then you give up a drive to tie it, and then you don't have this team is brain dead. I mean, and the coaching isn't helping. Well, I mean, I guarantee the time of possession wasn't hugely in favor of Missouri tonight. Defense is
here's the problem that you end up with right now. Oklahoma has been considered QBU for 25 damn years. And this year alone may ruin your quarterback recruiting for the foreseeable future.
It's not that.
How in the world, even if we wanted to get Jackson Arnold back, or Michael Hawkins for that matter. I mean, I'd like to see Hawkins in there instead. But I'll just say this. Who the hell's to say they're going to stay around if they're not getting any kind of – they're not getting developed? They're not – man, you've got them scared to death. They got huge arms, both of them, and you got them scared to death to go down the field. It doesn't make sense.
Well, you've got to, I mean, okay, so you now we've got 2 games left where I don't think we're going to get a single data point that tells us that Arnold or if you want to throw Michael Hawkins and watch him run around and get hit and cause turnovers, that's fine. It's fine. I mean, he's not going to play any better. I've absolutely zero doubt about that. Maybe if you had an different offensive coordinator come in and do some different things, yeah. But with what we're stuck with, I mean, Hawkins can't run the JJF offense for whatever the hell that offense is. He can't. He just can't. We've seen that. It's obvious. So, you're gonna have to clean. I mean, Brent needs to worry serious. I mean, I think this has turned into. I'm really worried about these next two games and what product we're going to put out on the field. I said the chances of Brent losing his job this year were like 0.0%. After tonight, and if we get our asses handed to us with Bama, with a freaking stadium full of Bama fans in Norman, and then go down to Baton Rouge and get our tail kicked in again. How do you not blow this thing up?
Did we answer this question here real quick?
Is J.A. playing hero ball too much?
I don't even think he's playing hero ball.
I don't even know what he's. I don't even know. I mean, like high school basic quarterbacking would tell you that the game's tied. Don't make a big fucking mistake. I mean, I have no idea how to explain the fumble touchdown that he gave up. It's tied. Just take a loss and punt the ball and go to overtime. I don't know. It's incalculable how bad a mistake that is, and how lacking of any kind of gravitas or common sense it has. I'm exasperated. Exasperated is where I am. He's not playing hero ball. He's not playing. We don't have any heroes.
No.
He's playing villain ball. He's playing villain ball out there. I mean, that fumble is like, I'm going to lose this football game, guys, real quick. Watch me do this. I have no possible explanation for what he's doing.
It's been so.
The confidence thing is so, we just scored a touchdown. He just threw a touchdown pass. We just drove the field. He was helping driving the field. We tied the game. We then got a defensive touchdown. And
is that better on my microphone? It's not sounding weird anymore.
No feedback.
The fumbles are bad. The inability to have a positive turnover margin is bad.
Are we at the point now where we have to ask the question? Is Venables the guy here?
You get your teeth kicked in by Bama at home and in Baton Rouge, which you are facing broadly in the face. I think Joe C has to seriously think about pulling the trigger, or if not, Haraz may need to pull the trigger on both of them.
Maybe you need to go get Will Stein to be your damn head coach. Is that what we're talking about?
Look. Let's be realistic, guys. Let's be realistic. I know this is the world of college.
Chris, I'm with you, but you get your teeth kicked in we end the season on a 3-game losing streak and show no life at home against Bama, and your teeth kicked in Baton Rouge.
I get that, but I mean, it's
a burning hot seat.
That's what I'm asking.
Hot seat, but he's going to.
I'm saying I want him to go. That's not what I'm getting at. But I'm saying you're getting a lot of it in here, obviously. But I'm asking you, how long do you put up with these losses where you're getting out coached, man? You're getting beat at the end. You would have to go through another season of this. You would have to go through another season of this, and then this is whenever you guys would be talking about this or whatever. Joe C. I think Joe C is going to give him another year. Let's just be realistic about it and just take it for what it is. Help. I mean, I like I said, I know this is college football, but if you look at Porter Moser, same type of hire. Was supposed to be the guy. A lot of people are really excited. Hasn't necessarily worked out. It is what it is.
But that's hoops. You could.
Like I said, I know this is college football. I know this is different, but I'm just telling you.
It's not
characteristic of Joe C to go out there and just fire a guy. Let's be real. Let's just be real. It's not characteristic of Joe C. You don't get fired. You don't see a lot of firings happen at OU. That's just not the norm. Okay. So I think that you need to really
they're doing the same thing. They're worse. They're worse.
Let's flip that question, Jason. Let's flip it
Okay.
to your question
All right.
last time that we were all together. How soon, or does this loss now, does this speed up the timeline of whenever you need to lock in and figure out exactly who is your OC next going forward?
You have to have that guy hired after the LSU beatdown.
I don't think that you can go and it can't be December 15th, December 20th, like
It's
we
gonna
were
be
talking
December
about with the deadline.
1st. You have got to reestablish some
If they haven't sent a freaking blank check to damn Oregon today.
But he's not going to be available December 1st.
It doesn't even. I don't even think that matters at this point. If you know you're getting him, at least you can. I mean, come on, man. Who the hell are you gonna get? We're talking about the best guy is that guy right there, or obviously Colton Ecke. He'll be available probably sooner.
Soon as Cowboys know. I mean, no, that's a actually good question. Soon as Cowboys look at you.
It finally has a good question.
That is OU.
Instead of saying something about Rashad
You don't know it's not worse. This team will probably beat that team by a lot.
No way.
The
first year team had beat the brakes off of this fucking team.
This team is terrible.
Defensively, they weren't good.
Dylan Gabriel would beat us by himself. We just lost to Drew Pine.
As long as Justin Broles was out there playing your nickel or in your cheetah too, I am not worried about that.
We played terrible. Look, first off, you got Anton Harrison and Wanye Morris and Guyton on that offensive line.
Yeah.
Right. So first off, those tackles are neutralizing whatever Brent's defense are doing. And they lose. The quarterback difference here is so, and the offensive line differences are so substantive that yes, his first year team beats this team, and this team is magically finding ways to lose. I mean, they basically they're like playing bingo in how to lose.
I don't think that it's dead. I don't think it's dead in the water. I think that you can fix it, but you got to get your guy immediately. That's all there is to it. You got to get your guy. You've got to get somebody that look, and we're talking immediately because of the fact that if you don't get somebody that can get quarterbacks, you may never see one again.
Recruiting wise doesn't seem to indicate that, but who knows?
Well, you think which one of these quarterbacks is going to show up if these are the same OCs that they're going to have?
No. I mean, okay, let's be honest here, okay? We know they're blowing out Joe John Finley and Kevin Johns, right? Thanks for your parting gifts. Goodbye.
It's not Kevin's fault. He shouldn't have been on advanced scouting for the last 6 months.
Well, it's gonna be give your money. You know, it's thanks, guy's gone. But Brent has to use this bye week because we're not fucking recruiting anybody. I can tell you that right now. Okay, we're not recruiting anyone. Jason White is completely right. That sums up. We're not recruiting anyone. He's got to use this bye week to lock down his guy. Announce it whenever, but get an agent in a room with a contract and get it signed and countersigned and say, December 1st, you are in Norman to start helping fix this mess. And you know, Stein is going to be, you can't get Stein, and Oregon's barreling toward the national championship. I don't know how you get Stein in. And you can't wait. They cannot wait until January 15th to get him in. We need somebody December 1st. So I don't know. Maybe it is Craddock. Maybe it's Arbuckle, the guy at Washington State? Maybe it's Spavital. I have no idea.
Why don't you try to get Summerall instead?
Okay, go get. I mean, Jason. At some point, I'm just completely agnostic about this decision. All I know is the current guy's stuck ass, and you need somebody who has a serious profile. Because if you don't,
do we believe that it's Craddock though? Because I've been saying I like Craddock, and I think that once he got away from Chad's ass, when he got away from Chad Morris. it helped his career. He's been with Summerall for 3 years now, and they've been amazing.
Okay, are we giving everybody mulligans like this? I'm fine if we are.
Who?
Are we giving everybody a mulligan on their resume? Like, okay, this is a terrible part of their resume. Because the Chad Morris stuff.
The last 4 years, well, this is 3 years in a row that they've been one of the top offenses in America on whatever team he's the coordinator for.
Okay, I'm just saying the Arkansas stuff is shitty, right?
Yeah, because that was Chad Morris. He ended up at fucking Allen after that.
I know. I'm just saying. We're giving him a mulligan on that. All right. Okay, that's fine.
Okay. All right. I'm asking you. That's why I'm asking you. I've been saying that I think it's G.J. Kinney. If it's not one of those first two guys that we've been talking about, that you should go shoot for the moon with G.J. Kinney. Let him bring all his guys with him, and that's who you go get. Because look, if I'm G.J. Kinney, I'm like, if we just get the offense right, they'll keep us around. They may not keep Brent, but we might get the job.
Well, if you fix the offense, the defense has so much talent on it.
No, it does. But you still listen. You're still going to have a bunch of freaking close games, and we don't have a guy that right now is dependable to manage a football game.
Okay, well, Jason, what do we? You survived Snellenberger and Blake. I could survive this. Yeah, I guess. All right. Okay. But Jason, the point of the matter
being all sunshine pumper and shit right now.
Yeah. All I'm saying is if you don't think Brent is the guy, pull the trigger. If Brent's not the guy, then he's not the guy. You don't usually become the guy. You don't usually become the guy in the fourth season. Not even if you bought the world's best players and all that. And, look at frickin' Cristobal today. Got out-coached badly by the Georgia Tech guy, right? So Mario Cristobal, worst game day coach in America, all right? James Franklin, same thing. You can import all these other helpers, but if you're not the guy game day after 4 years.
That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking, is because we're not seeing that he knows what to do in the crunch time.
There's no reason we lost today's game. No reason at all. We should have lost today's game. None. And we still managed to hit the bingo card of crippling plays and how to lose a football game. Oh, yeah, bingo, we did that. If it doesn't come down to Brent, I'll be stunned if he gets an excellent offensive coordinator in here, and we all basically say, yeah, that's a great guy. I'll be stunned if we're able to win 8 games next year and say Brent's job. Because I think you're right. Game day, we're not buttoned down. We're not a smart football team, and you could be untalented, but at least be gritty and win rock fights, right? What the hell do we do today? There's talent on our team.
We lost a freaking wiffle ball fight.
No, we lost like an LSD trip in the last 5 minutes. You're really just giving the game away. I'm not a big Craddock fan. Tulane is Tulane. It's fine. Whatever. That's his first year at Tulane, right? Correct? It's his first year at Tulane because he was with the Summerall guy somewhere else before, right?
Yes. They were at Troy.
At Troy. Okay. So, all right. So
they got a third stringer though that was not expecting to play. They made him the starter, and the dude is going to be All-American. They're averaging 45 a game.
Yeah, if other people feel that's a consensus, I just wasn't impressed with their offense when we played them. That's all. I just wasn't impressed. I wasn't that impressed with Mensa, and I wasn't that impressed with Tulane. I just wasn't.
Still, the Cowboys should. You can't do this dance, bro.
So
you cannot run the football if you can't throw the football down the field. If you're throwing the football to your not fast guys, what does it matter?
Yeah, I mean, but at this point, Craddock, I think, has jumped up the list because if he's scummy enough to go ahead and tamper with his current quarterback and bring him, then okay, that sounds like something we need to be doing. I mean, it's baffling. It's baffling where we find ourselves. I mean, we're given the world's shittiest schedule from the SEC. We've had crippling injuries. We lose guys for like no apparent reason. There's like fucking stealing a joke from somebody else. Dr. Kevorkian is running our training department. I mean, he's just taking people out left and right. I don't. Brent just. I mean, yes. My biggest concern after this game is Brent just doesn't have it. And all the King's horses and all the King's men are not going to make Brent Venables a playoff contender, game manager, head coach. Maybe the guy gets us to 8-4 with if he brings in a quarterback and we suddenly have some health and we have a great offseason where development actually occurs and all that jazz. But you can't lose games you cannot lose games like you lost tonight the way you lost it. You just can't. It just this is the way Mario Cristobal loses games and other guys who are just untalented and not really good game day coaches. So
it's just crazy that you lost on a 28-point swing, if you want to call it that. Because we went up on a 14-point swing. We got the trick play for a touchdown, then we got the fumble recovery for a touchdown, and then just a debacle happened. Right?
We gave up a long drive, which our defense hadn't done all game. Had played good defense all game, and they gave up the crippling Alex Grinch-like drive in the fourth quarter to lose the football game.
It's good football. Like, we're that close from just seeing like good football to be able to execute in a game like this to be able to win it. But it just came down to some key plays. But I mean, we could talk about development, this and that, and all the rest of that. But I think by default you're seeing new tight end coach, new passing coordinator, new analyst probably here, new OC, new quarterback coach, whatever the case may be. I think you're seeing all that stuff by default. But I mean, for me,
clean out. I mean, the offense stinks. If you want to clean out everybody, do it.
And I mean, are you guys to the point where obviously we know the guys that we're bringing in and we know the guys that we potentially can bring back, barring transfers or anybody decommitting or whatever the case may be? We know what's coming in, what's going out. But is this a time where you're like, hey, Brett, when you get your new offensive coordinator, obviously we've talked about, do we hamstring him by keeping certain coaches and this and that, but do we also hamstring him by not being able to open up our eye, basically putting our eyes and some of our focus in the transfer portal as well? It's
hire the guy and let him figure out this mess.
Because I mean, at this point,
if he wants to jettison guys, jettison them.
They're not going to freaking fire. They're not going to fire Big Bill. You guys got to quit with that.
I'm not even talking about the coaches. I'm talking about the portal. I mean, that's
the what portal. The portal. You got to go get who you got to get.
I mean, because I'm just being realistic about it. If you really want to be real at the end of the day, we don't know where mentally. We don't know where Andre.
No, we know that they fucked them up mentally. Both of those quarterbacks.
Look, that's mainly quarterbacks. My point with this is, Jason and Chris Mason, is simply this: Andre Anthony. We don't know. He's Derrick Rosen. Okay, and that's perfectly fine. Everybody comes back from injuries differently. The patellar tendon, not an ACL, not anything that's super crazy. You can come back to that. But does he lose a step? I'm talking about Gibson. Does he lose explosion? Whatever the case may be. Is he the same player? Still a big time injury.
Well,
Burks, question is he coming back? Whatever the case may be. I hope so. Farouk, you know what Farouk is. You know what kind of player you're going to get with him. And Nick Anderson, still yet to see. We've only seen one healthy season from Nick Anderson in his time here. Can he make it at least 6 games next year? Right? So you to start thinking about that, you know the guys that you're bringing in, Cortez Mills, guys like that. You know some of the guys that you're still going to have on the roster there, there. But is it as simple as just saying, like, look, you need to give the OC some time to be able to go out there and get some more guys as well, right?
I think
obviously
you're
tight end is a big need.
And here's the problem, right? At tight end, I went back and looked at the guys you could have gotten instead of Bauer Sharp, right? The ones that were in the portal that were supposed to be better.
Yeah.
And Bauer Sharp's outplaying 4 of the 5 guys. I hate to tell you that. I mean, like, the other guys aren't doing jack anywhere. Yeah. I don't think you can get this. There's not an elite tight end in the portal. You're not going to find one.
Barrett Sharp needs to be moved to wide receiver or however you want to stretch him out there towards wide receiver. He's a poor man's Calcaterra. He's a good tight end whenever he's catching and going north and south. But anything with screens or whatever the case may be, he doesn't have that acceleration and explosion.
Stop using him stupidly. Put him in position.
Why are they running? Look, man, you're running a fucking jet sweep with Bauer Sharp.
I mean, you have 2, 4, 3.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
It's inexcusable.
What are we talking about?
You have 2 sub. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, somebody was mentioning the Georgia Tech guy, the OC there, and obviously I'm in Atlanta, and I just watched them beat up Miami, running the same play over and over again, with Miami just watching them pick up yards after yards on the same play. Maybe that guy. I mean, because he's doing great things with Haynes King. It's I don't know. I think there are guys you can bring in and who can make us better on offense. I'm just concerned we'll still find ways to fuck up and lose because of bad game management. That's the real concern I have after today. I mean, how Brent couldn't get Arnold to understand, just take a knee, dude. If it's not there, take a knee. Don't turn the ball over. We'll win this game in overtime. I mean, frickin' Zach Schmidt hit a 56-yarder. I mean, miracles have happened. I mean, we'll win this in it. We'll win this in OT. We'll win this in OT. Drew Pine is bound to throw us a pick at some point. Just statistically speaking, it has to happen. He can't. So I'm concerned that Brent just doesn't have it. He didn't have it in hiring and getting us into this offensive mess. He didn't see it quickly enough to change course on it. Maybe the Arbuckle guy can make Michael Hawkins into the next Cam Ward. I don't know. Maybe Craddock can do something with Mensa or with Hawkins or with Arnold. Maybe somebody can fix all this, can fix the 2 QBs and access their talent and get them playing, deprogram them from whatever funk they're in. But I mean, part of the problem is going to be with the portal is after this shit show on offense, where are these guys going to find anybody that wants them? I mean, if you want to say we need a clean house, okay.
I don't think it's about. I don't really think that. I'm not going there with that. I think that the guys that you have, if you're healthy, and you have just any kind of offensive strategy that resembles, college football, decent. I mean, even decent. I mean, decent we're talking about. We're talking about a program that's been the best offense in the country for the better part of 20 years. More or less. If you're talking about the entirety of it.
Yeah, 07.
Some are better, some are worse. But the truth is that
07,
when have you ever looked out on that field and thought, we're not getting that third down. We can't score here. I've never seen this before. It's been a long time since you've seen anything like it. And it's, look, it doesn't, if you don't put these guys in the right position or you ruin their any kind of thoughts that they had going in their head, you've got it all screwed up to where they just don't have any confidence. You ruin every bit of confidence they have.
Well, you've flushed 8 months of development in the offseason, right? It's just apparently gone to crap. Nothing happened, right? Nothing happened development-wise in the offseason. So can a new guy come in, salvage this, put in a scheme, run a scheme, and with a full spring and a summer and an August camp make us functional again on offense? Probably.
Yeah,
but our schedule is the problem.
But I think
right? It's the schedule is the problem. It's not.
Facts.
It's not the okey doke Big 12.
Here's the reason
where we can out talent guys for 5 or 6 games.
This is why I think that they're probably not going to get rid of him this year, though, because who the fuck wants to come in and play this brutal schedule in year one? When you have a bunch of turnover. Look, I'm not sitting here telling you that I want Venables gone. I'm asking if this is gonna work out, because at some point, you have to show that you can handle the situation. So that's the issue that you got to be having right now.
So I would say I did a confidence.
This is fair to say.
I think after the Texas game, it was like 50-50 Brent can fix this. Right? 50-50 Brent can by 2026 can put a team on that could get us into the playoffs, right? 2025, 50-50. I'd say it's down to 25%. The odds of Brent being coaching here in 2026 and being able to coach a team into competing for the playoffs is 25% at this point.
Well, I think it depends. You said it yourself before. Obviously we're all a little freaking emotional here. You said yourself, if you put the defense out there that you're going to have next season, and you get a serviceable coordinator that knows what he's doing, maybe brings the quarterback with him. That's why, you talk about, I'm telling you, I definitely would still be, I would be making Will Stein turn me down. I would.
And I can guarantee you right
now. And
the
same with G.J. Kinney, then, for that matter, and the same with Colton Necky too.
So
same thing.
I'm afraid the answer, Will Stein, right now is no, and I'll only use you to get more money from Oregon. Colton Necky, maybe he's only been there.
Man. Who stays at Oregon though? Who stays at Oregon? Nobody stays at Oregon. Nobody does.
It's Lanning.
Even Lanning, he acted like he was being so loyal to Oregon. No, he wasn't. He didn't get offered the fucking Bama job.
Well, okay. I think I'll be honest, Jason. Will Stein is a pipe dream. It's never going to happen. You
listen. I'm not saying that it's the easiest thing in the world. I'm telling you, you go fucking write him a check.
I think it's a waste. It's a waste of cycles and a waste of time. I think it's a waste of time. Unless he's calling you, it's a waste of time. And even if he's calling you, he's just trying to get more money out of Oregon. So Colton Necky could be the same thing, but G.G. Kinney, can you sell that? Because he's not making that much money there. Could you sell that with like $3 million and tell him to bring the Mac Leftwich guy with him, and tell him he can bring Leftwich with him, and tell him that look, you dominated Oklahoma. You're gonna get a Power 4 SEC job at some point. Yeah, you could. I would do that, and then out of the Arbuckle, Craddock, Spavital, whatever pool of guys, interview him, figure out who your best guy is, hire him, and then run with it because it's your job. It's your job.
Yeah.
I think we've negativity. I thought Chris was had decided he had enough of this and had moved on.
Yeah.
No, I'm here, man. I'm just. I know I've been.
Chris, where are you at then? What are you saying to it then? I mean, you haven't said nothing to answer this. So you called me earlier and said that it's not a Venables problem. Are you sure about that?
I am going to die on that hill right now until I'm proven wrong next year. I think you get the right OC in here. And like I said, we've all said that. I agree with you guys. I agree with everybody in the chat. It's do or die next year. It really is. It's do or die next season. This hire is going to make or break him, right? But you get the right guy in here and get the pieces. Either you're going to stay intact, keep what you have right now. Obviously, you're probably going to lose a couple of guys, Hicks or whoever you're going to lose. But regardless,
what would be your over under on offensive side of the ball players hitting the portal December, basically announcing they're going to be in the portal when it opens December 9th? I think it's about 10 easily.
I was going to say about 7+, maybe about 7.
All right. I mean, both quarterbacks aren't going anywhere because, I mean, they've not done anything.
No, I think you keep Hawkins. I think you keep Hawkins.
I mean, I think you keep. I mean, they both play like crap, so I'm not exactly sure anyone's beating down their door.
Oh, come on! I think that Hawkins has the talent to do it, and he's working with the right guys to get better. I don't think that they gave him. He went from playing really good to not playing good at all because just like Jackson Arnold, they ruined the confidence there. Something's going on that offensive staff. Look, my question was, why in the hell aren't we running with these younger O linemen? I mean, if we're talking about this line so much, and we saw that those guys at least go out there and give effort. Hell, look at what you saw Eddie Pierre-Louis do last week. The kid's from Maine, but he drove the fucker back 8 yards and then planted him. This is the kind of guys you need to go ahead and have them on the line, especially when Missouri was out there headhunting. You've got to do stuff like this. You've got to. I mean, what the fuck are we sitting on them for now? You're not going to burn their red shirts.
Well, he's played. I mean, again.
No, but I'm talking about you. You have other guys too. There's other guys, and they're playing Spencer Brown.
Yeah.
Well, are you going to start Autry on the road?
Yeah. Why not?
I don't know.
He's 6'7", 325, and he's got an attitude.
Doesn't have. I don't think it looks any better. But I mean, it's the freshman O line.
Could it look worse? That's the question I have for you. Could it look worse?
The offense scored a freaking touchdown to tie the game, and you still found a way to lose the game.
The offense. To tie the game. Yeah.
They drove the field to tie the game, right? I mean, it was a long drive. They tied. I mean, the offense. When we're not fumbling the ball, the offense did what it needed to. Did the limited amount it could do, and it got us points. If you told me we scored 23 in regulation, I probably would have said, maybe we can win that game. I didn't factor in, the defense giving up a game tying drive when we should have put the game away. It's just it looked like the Grinch defense out there again. It's just like, okay, or Mike's defense out there. Going to give up a fourth quarter drive just out of principle. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's you again. I'll just say it. I don't think Brent's got it. He should have won today. He needed a win today, and his team played like crap in a lot of areas. So, you want to give him another year with a new offensive coordinator? Yeah, sure, you can do that, but I'm not sure it's the substantive stuff we're complaining about is going to look that much better. He's not going to He's not out coaching Kalen DeBoer or Lane Kiffin or even Josh Heupel. He's not. That's nothing showing any signs he's doing any of that. And those are 3-4 guys on our schedule next year, as well as I don't think Brian Kelly who knows what Brian Kelly will do? But anyway, it's just, I just don't think he's got it. I need some sign that he does, and I don't know what he can't. I don't think he can.
I'm not out on him. I'm not out on him until I hear this hire, until I see this hire, and then we'll see.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, people. I got to see the hire, and even with that, even if it's not a name that you guys are going to be really excited about, I'm going to let it play out. Especially those first. We got Temple on. Illinois State at home, and then Michigan right is the second game of the season next year. So
yeah, that might get. I bet that game gets moved. I bet that game gets bought out.
Oh, you think so?
If you're Michigan, why do you want it? And if you're Oklahoma, why do you want it? We got enough fucking tough games in our schedule. We don't need a home and home with Michigan any longer. I can see mutual interest has found our way out of this, and we'll just get in the cheapest team possible to do something. I mean, why play that game? It serves us no purpose other than maybe an embarrassing home loss the second game of the season. Not that Michigan's in any great shakes either.
I don't think they're going to fire him right now, though. I just don't see. They owe him $44 million.
Yeah, I mean, I think
agree, I think they're going to wait and see. I mean, just being honest about what it is. Look, you guys read my column last week. I said this is my concern: is that he is not a guy that's decisive when he needs to be. It's a concern to me. It's been a concern to me. Look, I love the guy. I think he's the right guy to have in your program. I don't know that it's the guy heading your program. I don't know. But I don't think that they're going to pull the plug here because they're not. They're not going to pay $44 million to watch him walk.
I don't even know if they pull it next year. Guys, look, for me, look,
Champion Standard says 40 plus is already in motion.
I get that.
So who do you go get, Champion Standard?
So this is what I would say. This is what I would say, people. Look, until the unthinkable happens with his job, then that happens. But I think we really need to shift our focus to personnel, on coaching and playing wise. Like we need to figure that out. That has to be something that is addressed. This will be the last like just little 5 minutes or whatnot. It's late, everybody, but this is what I'll say to here. Okay, going into this bye week, I would absolutely love for somebody to tell me every flight pattern, weird flight, whatever is going in and out of Norman, because I need to know, because that right there is going to give me a lot of hope and tell me BV's trying to get it fixed. And I'll be honest with you, I may be the only one out of the 300 plus people that are in this chat right here. Quick plug, go ahead and like, subscribe to all these different things of the channel. But with that, out of the 300 plus people in here, I'm probably the only one that would say right now, and I'll coin it. And if I'm wrong, please tell me, make me eat crow. BV gets it fixed next year. He gets it right next year. I think he does. I think that you see better defense, that you see an all-around better team, better product, better everything. But I gotta see this hire. I need to hear some rumors. I don't want to hear rumors about. I don't want to hear anything about recruiting. I don't want to hear anything about anything else. I want to hear straight rumors about what's going on with this OC search. Because tonight, say what you want to say about the defense late in the game or wherever the case may be. What my focus has been on, it has been on from the get-go. The offense is bad, and you're putting them in really, really bad situations. Execution after the snap is terrible. Jackson Norman, I'm not necessarily sure if he is the guy, but what else do we have right now? So going into this bye week, hopefully people get healthy. Hopefully Burks is not completely knocked out and gets out of concussion protocol where he can be back for the Bama game. But at some point, one thing I will say is, hey, JJF, don't be self-betrayal. Throw the ball down the fucking field. If you're gonna run a variation of or you're gonna put your own spin on what's his name, Levy's offense, you got to take deep shots. You got to keep the offense, you got to keep the defense honest, and you weren't able to do that tonight. And that's what's frustrating. For the 3 or 4 plays that you called in a row that were amazing, that were great, and that were on time, then you call tight end screens and tight end delays and different things like that just didn't make any sense. So there were times where we wasted plays and we wasted drives simply because of just pure dumbass play calling. I don't get it.
So my last question, I'll agree with everything you said, is what does progress look like next year? What does it have to be? I mean, we're about to go 1-7 in the SEC.
You better win 8, 9, probably.
Right,
If you go 5-7 and you don't win 8 games and you don't win 8 or 9, I think you're in trouble.
8 or 9 wins is progress.
So
this is Oklahoma, man. What are we talking about?
That's where we are. Okay, all right. I just cannot believe we found
whoever's the quarterback needs to be averaging over 250 yards of passing yards a game next year.
Yeah, I just can't believe, last comment, Chris, I just honestly can't believe how we lost this game.
Yeah. The way we lost this game was piss poor. It was inexcusable.
No, I mean, I'm just actually talking like statistically.
Dumbassery kills good plans. That's a good call.
It's like chaos theory, how we lost this game. I mean, it's like literally, how did you lose this game, guys? I mean, I'm sure the players in the locker room are staring at each other like, how the fuck did we lose this game? We tied it. We tied it with 3 minutes to go. And you have
the lead with 2 minutes, with under 2 minutes left. You have the lead. And you gave up 2 30-plus yard plays. And, yeah. I mean, I'm not against it. Yes, you're putting the defense in terrible positions because the offense is shit. And that's the biggest problem. But at the end, the one thing that I'll say that the only reason that it concerns me the most about Venables is that, look, man, that last 2 minute shit, that's why he's here. That's why he's here, is to you gotta put your guys in position to make plays there. They didn't even get a sack. They didn't even sack Drew fucking Pine.
They did in the last series.
Oh, okay, good. Okay.
RMT got a sack, but I mean, then they threw the ball 33 yards to get down to the 10-yard line. So and then so it's.
The point is again. You've got to show that you're at least doing. Look, it's just. I mean, I just said this. I got a video coming out in a little while about Lincoln and Gundy, and I got to fucking throw BV on some of it too because.
Oh no! I mean,
we're seeing Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley's coming apart on offense all of a sudden. Now his defense is okay. Their offense shitty.
Yeah. Well, OSU just got trounced by TCU. So
yeah, that's 0-7. TCU.
I mean,
are they going to fire Gundy? That's the other question. Are they going to fire Gundy, or are they going to let him slide?
If he starts insulting more people, maybe.
He's been insulting people. He called them a bunch of fucking poor asses.
Well, I mean, more people. I mean, more people. I don't know. This is
everybody that's bitching, which is the whole fan base. Oh.
This was as depressed. I mean, as bad as the Texas loss and some of these other losses were, right? On some level, we never had
these losses. The Texas loss is what it is. I mean
like the Tennessee loss and then the South Carolina loss. They're all in different categories, right?
They're all in different categories. But to be honest with you, the Tennessee game, this game, and the Ole Miss game for sure, those are the ones that hurt the most this year because of what could have been.
You could arguably say we played Ole Miss better than UGA did this.
Yeah.
I mean, and that same team, obviously minus the pieces because we can't go week to week without losing a vital contributor.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, we're playing our 4th and 5th string offensive tackles at this point. And every team we play, their pass rushers are just, licking their chops. I don't know. I don't know what Brent does, but like I said, I would love to hear through the grapevine that he has met with 5 offensive coordinators, has a final 2, and he's going to make a decision, December 1st, right after the LSU game.
All right, people, we've been on here for about an hour and 10 minutes. Hopefully we'll be back either happy Veterans Day to everybody if we don't get back on here tomorrow or Monday. Thank you all for your service and all of that day. So wish you and your family well. But I will say bi-week topics are going to be really, really, really interesting. So I would say if we're not back tomorrow, hopefully we're back Monday or another day, all 3 of us to get together and we need to get into a chat together, y'all, so we could just kind of flesh out some real issues that we want to talk about. Maybe we talk about BV's job one episode. Maybe we talk about this and that. Maybe we talk about personnel, what scholarships we need, who we need to get rid of, this and that or whatever. We really dissect this team. But I think there's some conversations that need to be had, some real tough conversations. And I think that's what kind of gives me the most hope is that we've seen BV have those tough conversations as far as processing some people out. And I think that it's going to happen again, coaching wise and what you're seeing offensively, on the field as well. But with that being said, people like, subscribe, do all those different things to every channel. Horns Down Podcast, Hall of Fame College Football Podcast with Jason and Coach, Sooners 360, the Patreon, all the rest of that stuff that Chris Mason is doing. Amazing work with the recruiting and all the rest of that stuff. Like, subscribe, do all those different things, get all those views and everything and stuff. Help us help you, right? It's free at the end of the day. So definitely check us out.
Don't be a freeloader.
No. With that being said, we'll be back soon, people. We out.